Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we have a brand new reveal for Kill Team, well, Kill Team adjacent. This is Warhammer Heroes. They're back, and they're bringing another elite team of Space Marines to the battlefield. Do you want to hear a secret? There's a bunch of Space Marines coming to Warhammer Heroes, but these ones are a little more mysterious than the Ultramarines. The latest Blind Buy miniature collection, which I used to love these kind of boxes as a kid. We'll talk about my reservations later. But this features Strike Force Variel from the Dark Angels chapter. Although you can, I was going to say build them, they're a single pose unit, but you can paint them however you want. There is no specific Dark Angels stuff on here, so they can be any chapter you want. But every box is a selection of one of 7 different warriors, each with their own equipment, specialization, and kill team rules card. Very much like the last set of Warhammer Heroes, which did end up in the Kill Team starter box. Stunning sculpts, really nice. So you can see them there. You've got a Infernus Marine, you've got a Reaver, you've got an Incursor, I think it was. Standard Intercessor, Assault Intercessor. That looks, well, there's a combat knife, but that's probably a plasma pistol, so maybe a Sergeant. And then you've obviously got the Stern Guard Vet style combi weapon melter with a bolter. Combi weapons in Kill Team sounds cool though, but it's just a mix of Space Marines that we already have rules for. It's just how you field them as a team. Like I say, Angels of Death I think are really cool, and the models in here I think are quite fun. It's going to be a 6-man kill team and you're going to pick between some of them, but rules like this, depending on how they're released, and they might confirm later in the article, but rules are very much, you can take a flavour of Space Marines and play with it. I'm planning on doing a Space Wolf variant of the current Angels of Death, although a Space Wolf variant of these could work quite well as well, but that would be using Space Wolf models instead of these. So the rules give you options to kit bash really cool kill teams. Honestly, they're probably not going to be that good apart from they have all of the Space Marine stuff that makes Space Marines good. But rules wise, they're going to be fairly simple, they're going to be fairly streamlined. They may not have equipment. We don't know. But that's following the trend of the last series of Warhammer Heroes. That's sort of what happened when they used them as a kill team starter. So these miniatures are a great addition to the Warhammer hobby, and you can assemble them without glue or tools. They are all push fit. Stoic Sternguard Sergeant Rasmus is joined by Infernus Marine Haroth, Assault Intercessor Maphael, Infiltrators, yes, Belath, Intercessor Zeridim, and Reaver. I'm gonna go Nachten. Sounds cool. This elite team is led by a mysterious lieutenant of the chapter. So it's a lieutenant model. We finally got a new Primaris lieutenant. And this miniature must remain secret for now because Dark Angels love their secrets. So that's your Sternguard Sergeant. Right. Sergeant or Lieutenant is how it's probably going to be billed as. That's your choice, and then you can take these others as a unit of 5. There isn't like a sniper or a heavy or anything in there. It looks like the Lieutenant has a plasma pistol, just looking at the profile of that weapon. So I think that your Flamer is probably going to be standard Flamer, bit rubbish. All of the other weapons are just bolt weapons. And then your choice is plasma pistol or combi melter. But if the melter is a one-use thing, which they probably will be, do you really want to take him? It all depends on the rules. But that's your Sternguard Sergeant. That's a closer look at the Infernus, the Assault Intercessor, the Interceptor. Quite like that pose actually. The Standard Intercessor, and the Reaver. I really like that Reaver pose. I think you could make a cool Phobos Lieutenant out of that if you want to go down the Phobos route. I quite like him. They're not bad, they're Space Marines. As you can see, the Dark Angel stuff is very much just transfers or painted on. The only Dark Angels-y bit is potentially the, well, it's not even Dark Angels, is it? That's just a standard Imperium Eagle. But there is nothing on this guy that says anything other than Sternguard. I mean, he could be a cool captain model. Don't think he's on a 40mm base though. But they're push fit, they're usually molded in a way where you sort of have to build them on the base. But we'll see. We're getting to the bit that I don't like. Each box will come with a kill team data card for each miniature, with the operative stats, weapons and strategy ploys translated in English, German and Japanese. You can tell where their target market is. Collect them all and you will have a simple to learn, streamlined kill team designed as the perfect way to get a taste for the game and able to take to the kill zone against any other team. So they are going to be a legitimate kill team if you can collect them all and you have all their rules. But by streamlined, they mean they're not going to have quite a lot of the kill teamy stuff. So they're going to be a beginner's team. Here's the bit I don't like. Every display unit will have 8 blind boxes, that's fine, but there is no guarantee you will get all 7 miniatures if you buy a full dispenser of the 8 boxes. So if you just wanted to buy all 8, just to have the 7-man kill team, you can't. Potentially, you may get all 8, well, all 7. Yeah, I don't know, I just think for people like me who would be tempted to buy this for the kill team rules, I just think if you buy the box of 8, you're getting 1 repeat already, just give them the other 7. But hey, that's not how these things work, is it? Used to be, but it's not how they work anymore. That's a change that I don't like. But they want you to be able to... They've probably seen how boxes are flying off the shelves and people aren't actually buying them individually, and they want you to buy them individually. Depends how many they make. They often don't make many of these, and when I've seen them sold in the UK by third-party retailers, they fly off the shelves as boxes of 8. They're not sold individually. So, you know, is what it is. I don't love it, but it is only 1 kill team. It is a beginner kill team. It isn't going to be one of the best ones. It's another delivery method for these miniatures. They're trying to grow the hobby in Asia, and this kind of stuff does really well in that part of the world. So it's not necessarily for us here in Europe or in America, but obviously it needs to be accessible to those countries as well if they're going to be widely picked up. These will be available from select retailers later in the year, so it's going to be third party, probably not Warhammer stores, which is another bit of a shame. If it was an exclusive to Warhammer stores blind box thing, I'd understand it a bit more, but it's not even that. They're going to be in like Barnes and Noble type places. Just weird. Really weird. No, they also come in green plastic because, you know, green's kind of cool. Green's my favourite colour actually. I don't know why I'm doing Space Wolves grey, but I like green. But they come in green plastic, so you can just press them together as push-fit models and move them around without painting them if you want to get started. Entry level, and for bringing people, maybe younger people into the hobby, I think that this is a really cool idea for the odd box here and there. Making them a kill team and trying to get people to play kill team through this method makes sense. I quite like that as well. And as models, I really want to know what that lieutenant is now, but as models, they're just generic Space Marines, but the poses are slightly different, so they're a little bit more interesting. I'm not against most of it. What I am against is just this whole loot box, blind box idea. I hope that we move past it. It's been a trend that's been murdering video games for a very long time. It is technically gambling because while you know you're going to get one of these products, you don't know which one you're going to get. The way that LEGO have got around this, because LEGO do their little blind box minifig things, they actually have a QR code on which you can scan and it'll tell you which miniature's in the box. So that would be interesting if they did that, but I don't think Games Workshop is that advanced. They want you to have the mystery. The problem is, people like me, if there was a model in here that I really loved, I would buy loads of these, because I know what my personality type is, and I know that I am a sucker for this kind of stuff. On the whole, they're just Space Marines. If you're not looking for a fun, flexible kill team, or a new way of playing Space Marines, you can ignore this. 99% of the people in the hobby are probably going to ignore this. I think that's what normally happens. They're also made in such limited quantities that it's really hard to get them all, and scalpers will buy them, and they will be all over eBay, and just a nightmare to get hold of. But what I'd like to see down the line, they release this and then 3 months in, whatever, when they do the next Kill Team update, I want them to release Strike Force Variel as a full rules PDF with just the rules that's on these cards in whatever language you want to do them in, preferably English, but also have them in German and have them in Japanese as well if you want to make it completely accessible for all these markets, and just release the team as a PDF. So if you don't own these miniatures, you still have access to the rules if you want to run this team. I doubt that that will happen because it didn't with the other ones until they were brought into the new edition and put as the starter box. So I guess there's hope. In 3 years' time, maybe these guys will be part of the starter box. As models, they're fine. I like some of the poses, but they're also just slightly differently posed Space Marines. They're not that exciting, What I find most interesting is the kill team side of it and combi weapons and things like that. But looking at their war gear, they're probably not going to be the best kill team out there. I don't think it's certainly not for me unless I really want to be a sucker and buy a box of these and we do an opening on the channel. Like, I mean, it might be fun to see if I can pick up a box of 8 blisters and then we just unbox them as a video. That could be quite fun, actually. Maybe we'll do that down the line. It depends how expensive they are. But yeah, there's nothing here for what I would say is 99% of the hobby fanbase. There's very little here for kill team fans, in all honesty. But as an introduction product, I like it. I just don't like the fact that it is a true mystery box. And you're not guaranteed to get all 7 if you buy the box of 8 blisters. I guess that's a minor nitpick, because this is supposed to be mystery and you're supposed to spend 3 times the amount trying to get the full collection if you want them. I feel like this is a step too far though. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.